Welcome to Soul Tales Daily, where simple stories echo deep emotions, joy, sorrow, greed, and glimpses of humanity. Stay a while, maybe you'll find yourself in one of them. Right finger hit subscribe and make every day a story to remember. Dizzy. The velvet curtain hides a terrible secret. Tonight, at the Van der Velde castle, what is being sold is more than just an inheritance. They say the Van der Velde family has it all, from money, to power, to perfection. But they don't know that even within the golden walls of the ancient castle, there is something more rotten than termite-eaten wood. The castle stands majestically on the hill, majestic and cold, its Gothic stone blocks stained with moss over centuries. Tonight, the mist covers it, making it look like a sleeping monster, keeping the family's terrible secrets. 7 o'clock in the evening. The night before the fateful auction. Xavier van der Velde paced the large drawing room, haughty and impeccable in his dark blue velvet suit. He was the very embodiment of tyranny. His silver hair was a romantic shade, his icy blue eyes held a deep calculation and contempt. Xavier, Elise, you know very well that this chateau must go because of the huge debt I incurred from a failed investment. But I have other plans for you. Marry Monsieur Dubois, a man who craves status. He will pay off all the debts and provide for us. Everything will be back to normal. Elise van der Velde stepped back, her lonely shadow falling long on the expensive Persian carpet. She was a delicate Belgian rose with dark blonde hair, always wearing a fragile shell. The black evening gown she wore made her look like an elegant, cold sculpture. Elise, cold, suppressing her anger. Are you selling me, or the family fortune, father? Dubois, a man who knows nothing of the secrets here. Everyone saw a weak, frightened young lady. But Elise was not afraid, she saw a stage waiting for the curtain to fall. The pain had frozen into sharp determination. Xavier, sarcastically, smirking, contemptuously, you fool. My plans are always perfect. As for you, you just need to be beautiful and obedient. He's waiting for you in the hallway, don't ruin it, Elise. At midnight, the castle fell into a false slumber. The main hall was as silent as a mausoleum. Elise walked down the long marble hallway. She sought out Mark, the cousin she trusted completely. Mark, the family vineyard manager, lacks van der Velde's arrogance. He has warm brown eyes and quiet loyalty, and has been Elise's only support since her mother's death. Elise, whispering, trusting, Mark, did you find it? Proof of father's fraudulent deal with the bank? I need it to destroy his plans. Only you know where father hid the secret. Mark, nodding slightly, I searched. Xavier hid it very well. But I found a secret hatch under the library floor, right under the bust of Grandma. I dare not open it, Elise. I know you will need more courage than I. Elise entered the library. The scent of oak and old leather that was characteristic of the study lingered. She furtively removed a floorboard. Beneath it lay an old wooden box, its brass lock rusted with age. The dim light from the candle in her hand made the box seem to glow with a ghostly light from the past. Inside the box were not financial documents, but old letters stained with time and a broken pearl necklace. Her mother's delicate handwriting gradually appeared under the flickering candlelight. They revealed the horrifying truth. Her mother had not died of illness, as Xavier had told her for 20 years. Who was forced to commit suicide by him after she discovered his insatiable greed and fraudulent scheme to take over his entire fortune. Elise, heartbroken, voice choked, like a torn wound, father. He created a perfect picture of a sick wife to cover up his crime. He didn't just kill mother, he killed the truth. Elise's tears flowed but quickly dried. Her fragile appearance vanished, replaced by a cold, almost cruel gaze, tempered by pain. She knew that calling the police was not the act of a cruel daughter, but her final act to bring justice to her mother's soul and prevent her father's crimes from harming others. This is no longer a battle for property, but for justice. Elise, determined, tightening her grip on the necklace, her anger burning, he will lose everything. The castle, his reputation, and his freedom. I will do it, right there at the auction. Mark, send that anonymous report. The auction took place in the lavish auction hall of the castle. Hundreds of wealthy, masked faces were waiting to compete for the fragments of the van der Velde family. Xavier stood on the podium, his face full of complacency, ready to announce the sale of the castle. The atmosphere was as tense as a string, but no one could predict the upcoming scenario. Xavier, loud, confident, like a winner, ladies and gentlemen, the most valuable item tonight, Van der Velde Castle. At that moment, Elise, in a powerful black evening gown, stepped onto the podium, graceful but filled with inner strength. Xavier, angry, face pale, as if doused with cold water. Elise. What are you doing there? Monsieur Dubois is looking. Come back immediately. Elise, voice resonant, like a bell in the dead silence. Ladies and gentlemen, before the sale of Castle van der Velde, I have another item to bid, one that has been buried for too long, my father's honor. She threw the broken necklace and the letters onto the auction table. The entire auction house shook, whispers rose like a tsunami. Xavier lost control, his face red with rage and fear. The police immediately rushed in. Xavier, the man who had always prided himself on his perfection, was handcuffed in front of the people he had always despised. Xavier, screaming in despair, the sound tearing apart the luxury. Elise. You will regret it, you are a poisonous snake. I raised you. Elise, calm, eyes steady, not a bit wavering. No, father. It's just that I'm not your doll anymore. Your perfect shell has rotted. I'm just doing the right thing for Mom and for you. The Van der Velde castle was not sold. Thanks to Xavier's evidence of fraud, the castle was frozen and later given to Elise to settle her father's estate. Elise decided to transfer a large portion of the castle to the Charity and Justice Foundation in her mother's name, using the remaining money to compensate the victims of the fraud. Elise found peace, not in wealth, but in redemption and justice. She sat alone by the extinguished fireplace, watching the quiet castle through the large window. A small, meaningful smile appeared on her lips. She had triumphed over greed, not her father. The story shows that a perfect exterior is just a dangerous facade. Wealth cannot buy morality. Elise's actions, though painful, are proof that justice always finds its way, and that sometimes, love is forcing loved ones to face their mistakes to prevent a greater tragedy. If Elise's story of courage and justice inspires you, subscribe now. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next dramatic family secrets and stories of justice.